There you're going. If you've got a VX to VY Commodore and it develops a miss when it's warm, when it's going up a hill just under general light loads, quite often people will suspect it's going to be the leads or the coils, but very often it can be this, which is the DFI, digital fuel injection plate, that sits underneath the coils and is sandwiched between them. It's probably only about a 15-minute repair. Another common sign that the DFI module could be faulty is that when you start the car, it has to crank over for a while, possibly 2 revolutions or more, and if it then starts, you can suspect a DFI module, or a cam angle sensor, or possibly even a crank angle. But DFI, if it is affected by heat, coils if it's affected by heat, leads if it's affected by heat. But since this is such a quick changeover, hunt around and find one. Don't necessarily trust the ones you're getting. They can be faulty out of the packet, they can be brand new. I had one, I installed it for 15 minutes and it failed after 15 minutes. I lost the first coil, just completely was dead. Swapped over a coil to make sure that it was the DFI unit, not the coil, and swapped it over, and yeah, I could tell that the DFI was the DFI plate, or the DFI module, which I think stands for digital fuel injection. In the case of this one, I've got this misfire going up a hill or going along on flat ground in that transition period where it's relatively light load, but you're trying to throttle up a little bit, and you just get this hesitation. You wouldn't call it a misfire, but it's almost a misfire. To change this, you undo this bolt here. It's a 7mm. Undo that, wriggle the plug out. This plug, have a good look at all these connectors inside with a magnifying glass or something like that, or if you've got good eyesight, and make sure none of them are burnt or corroded. If they are, then that can even be a problem. Also make sure there's no frayed wires or any other major issues with that. Then the next thing you do is remove this. It's just held on by little tabs there and there and underneath as well. Then unscrew the coils and pull out the leads, number your leads. Once you've undone the bolts, they're 5.5mm on the socket. These just pull straight up. Just wriggle them gently and they pull up. And that's the sockets they sit on. In this case, I'm going to remove the complete bracket. There's 2 bolts underneath, 13mm, which is about 1/2 inch, and I'll just take the whole bracket off, as I plan to change the complete module with the second-hand one. But you can, if you wish, just change the DFI unit by taking each of your coil packs off. Okay, so that's removed. Same length bolts, so it doesn't matter which one goes in where. While you've got this off, inspect this hose here. Because it's sitting underneath this assembly, people don't tend to take notice of it, and you can find that terribly corroded at that, just around here quite often. And while it's off, have a look at your water pump. Good opportunity to check a few things that are sitting in amongst here. Make sure there's nothing that looks out of place. Okay, time to reassemble it. This unit is the one that's going on, and then reconnect the leads. It's always a good idea to number them when you take them off. Makes it pretty easy to put them back on, although in this case they do have the numbers on the leads as well. Cylinder 1, cylinder 4. It's a very simple job. In the end of the DFI unit, you can see the pins. Make sure they're straight, that you haven't accidentally bent. When you're inserting that plug Again, wriggle it in gently and then tighten up the screw. Don't over tighten, it's only a small screw. Some stage I plan to cut one of these open and have a look to see what goes on inside it. Enjoy it. It's a very easy job to do, well within the realms of anyone, and it makes a good starting point if you're chasing yourself around in circles trying to figure out why your VXVY Commodore has an intermittent miss or a hesitation on it.